Oh, and welcome everyone to day 3 of Expedition Online Season 2. I'm Jonathan Dykes. With me today in the commentators booth, we've got from Season 1, Sam Donovan. How you doing tonight, Sam?
Doing well. Very excited for tonight. Tonight's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, it should be a wild one. We've gotten off to a crazy start over the past couple days. Sam, what has stood out to you so far in the game?
So far, it's just been a fast game. I mean, Team Ethan has gone to Crossroads twice now, and 2 nights in a row, they kind of had to scramble and, put on their strategy hats from the first second of the game. So watching them start to build these relationships has been fun, and there's been a lot of those relationships.
Absolutely, and a completely different story over there on Team Janet, as they have yet to leave the shelter, really. All kind of staying in one group. A lot of good bonding time, but less time with the strategizing. Caught up to Team Tyson. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that's, it's a double-edged sword. They're all getting very close together, but they're not going to be happy forever. I mean, even if they run all the way to the end, there's somebody's 8th, somebody's 7th. They're going to have to start building those relationships at some point on the side.
Really liking our party right now. We're killing it in challenges, and we all seem to be on the same page that, no one's going to scramble and go off to different rooms to possibly make some shady stuff happen or just put doubt in anyone else's mind.
Alright. We go the whole night again, all in one room. I don't know what to do to get out of this room with everyone, because as soon as I do, they're all going to be like, well, he's not with the team, he's ready to do his own thing. It's driving me crazy. No one wants to be the first one to do it. And then tonight, I think it was Kyle, they now want to do all 8 of us to the final 8 together. No, absolutely not. I do not want to be the final 8 with just this group. I can't beat half of them probably, and it's boring, and no.
If we lose, we're not all gonna stick together. So that is nice to say, but I would like to know who is my small core alliance that I know I can trust. I don't want to be misunderstood, because I'm very happy that we are winning. But I just feel like Team Ethan is going to be really ahead of us.
For now, I'll take the W, and I'll take the peacefulness back at camp and let the other tribe just beat themselves up.
We lost another challenge, and I'm starting to think that I really am cursed. So the way it broke down was there were the 3 young people, Ryan, Gideon, and Gabe. And then Chantel and Garrett are a pair. And the 3 young people were targeting Hannah, so that immediately pushes Hannah to join the pair. So it was 3-3.
I don't want to be in charge of this. I don't want to be running the show. I kind of want Garrett or Chantel to start making some decisions.
I also appreciate that rogue vote did way more damage than I expected, and that it completely blew up Gabe and Hannah's game, which makes my journey for later a little bit easier, at least for the next vote, it seems like. Hopefully no shenanigans happen.
I get another piece of information from Ryan that Jack and Garrett have played before.
And in that game they played, Garrett won. That scares me quite a bit.
I am going to be asking Garrett questions. And if he lies to me, I came here to play chess and not checkers.
I have different scenarios that I've played out in my mind here. Number 1 is they don't talk to me at all after tribal and they don't approach me. Then I will take out Chantel because I know she's running the show. And then I'll have to pitch to Ryan and Hannah on why Garrett and Jack are obviously going to take over this game if we don't do something now. Number 2, they pitch to me Hannah. If they pitch to me to go Hannah, I will vote Hannah. Then once we vote Hannah, I will pitch to Chantel and Ryan that we need to strike on Garrett and Jack right now. Number 3 is they either pitch to me Garrett or Jack. If that's the case, that's great, because that means I'm not on the bottom anymore. Either Garrett or Jack will be, because we just blindsided them, and that'll leave a 4-1 alliance, hopefully. Now, after I play the idol, I will immediately go looking. I will look for a clue. If I can't see a clue, or if somebody else gets it, I'll try to get it out of them. If I can't, I will just look without a clue. I'm sure I can hopefully find it. Fingers crossed.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens in that. But before we get to the exemption challenge today, we do have the Battle of the Trail of Deserted. So we're bringing back Will and Gabe. They got one more shot to get themselves back in the mix here. You excited to see that?
100%. There's nothing better than just a one-on-one duel fighting for your life in the game. I mean, they're both going to be putting 110% into it. It's going to be a lot of fun watching them go back and forth.
Absolutely, and they're going to be the only explorers who are going to get a second shot in this, as the Trail of the Deserted is going to be shut down after today. One of those players is going to get back into the game. It's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out tonight. Let's get right to it. We're going to throw things over to the host of Expedition Online, Docs, for the Battle of the Trail of the Deserted.
Welcome to the Trail of the Deserted. It's the current home of our explorers Gabe and Will, who were both voted off the Team Ethan party. Our explorers are going to compete in a duel of the Deserted today for a chance to get back into the game tonight. That's right, you guys are competing for a chance to get back in tonight. The winner of the duel will be back in the game, and unfortunately, this will be the end of the road for the person who does not win the duel. But no matter what the outcome is, we want both of you to stick around after the competition, because the winner will have to make a decision that will impact the game, and we're going to let the two of you strategize about it. Are you ready to get started? Okay, your supplies for this challenge is a book and ping pong balls. We're going to ask that you balance a ping pong ball on a book. If after 15 minutes you both still have the ping pong ball on the book, we're going to ask you to add another ball. If after 5 minutes you're able to keep both of those ping pong balls on the book, we're going to have you do 5 spins per minute until somebody's ball drops. If one ball drops off the book, you will be eliminated. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. The challenge is on.
And we are off. Gabe is off to a rocky start right now.
There's already a wobble.
Yeah. Will also... The ball is on the move for Will. He's got a bigger book, though.
It's not as stable as I thought it would be to start off. I thought they'd kind of get off to a good start and find a groove here, but let's see if that happens.
It's taken them a second to settle in. It looks like they have settled in now. Gabe has a smaller book. I wonder if that's going to come into play. He might have a little bit more control with the ball, but if it does go haywire, he's got less room.
Less surface area. My biggest question right now is, will Will hold that hand position the entire 15 minutes?
I hope he can. That's impressive. Seems to be keeping him in place. He's using the force right now.
It's all about the balance. He's an Olympic gymnast on the balance beam.
Right. Absolutely. Doc's even looking on intently. This is huge here. A chance to go right back into the game. I'm sure they're both really disappointed to be voted out so early. I'm sure they didn't really feel like they got a chance. And, I mean, this is it. Right back in it.
Right. And Gabe especially, I think he thought he had a good footing in the game. He had a pretty strong alliance on Team Ethan, but...
Yeah.
And here he is now on the trail, so...
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how they're able to get their footing back in the game. I mean, to get back in any time away from players in the game is crucial, but to be voted out and then come back in, there's always going to be that stigma, and whether or not they're able to shake that is going to be interesting.
Especially this early in the game. The early days are definitely where you're trying to build that trust and build that, just human to human rapport.
2 minutes in.
Yeah, and players are looking for anything to be that reason, that easy reason to get someone out this early.
Exactly.
Will was devastated to be the first one out, though, especially. I feel like he kind of got caught up in the first day jitters, and some people stay quiet when they're nervous, and some people get a little bit chatty. Will's on the chatty end, and it was a bit unfortunate that kind of it set him apart, right? And this early
exactly.
in the game, yeah, he was never really able to.
But I think he definitely learned from that. I think he would come in with a whole new grasp on the game. He's got the jitters out. After this, he would have won a challenge, so he might have a little bit, personal momentum going. So. Right. I think Will would have a great chance to come back in this game, as well as Gabe. I mean, with those alliances that I alluded to earlier, they both have a great shot to come back in here and make moves. It's a matter of them taking control of that and, getting their foot back planted in the game.
Right. Both of them coming from Team Ethan. So at the end of this, Doc's alluded to a decision that they're going to have to make. Essentially, they're going to get to choose which party they go back to. That's going to be a huge decision.
That's huge. And the fact that they're going to be able to strategize and talk to each other, I don't know how much of a part that'll play, but it could be a very interesting conversation post-challenge.
That should be fun.
I'm curious if it will be an easy decision for them, if they really will kind of mull it over and weigh the pros and cons, or if one of them, will just hop on an opportunity, if they already have their minds made up. Although, who knows where that's going to lead them.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it'll be telling. Will seems like someone who's really thoughtful, and I would expect to put some thought into it. Gabe, I don't think knows the game quite as well, so maybe he'll just kind of go with his gut, whether that right or wrong.
I don't know if Jeff Probst knows the game quite as well as Will does, but
yeah, absolutely.
Will has held the hand position well into 5 minutes into the challenge.
Oh,
and Will drops.
As we say that.
Gabe is back in the game.
Wow.
Will, unfortunately,
that's the challenge.
That's a heartbreaker for Will. But great news for Gabe is he's going to get
another Will.
Chance.
Unfortunately, your expedition is going to come to an end tonight. But you do have the opportunity to weigh in and help Gabe with his decision. Gabe, tonight you're going to choose which party you're going to join, but you're not going to join the party until after the challenge. But you will not know which party is going to have exemption and which is going to go to Crossroads. So if the party you choose goes to Crossroads, you will go to Crossroads with them. So the two of you guys can talk about what you think would be the smartest strategy. Since there's a possibility that you will be going to Crossroads, we're going to give you the Cinderella Compass that expires at 11 p.m. tonight. Just for the record, it's not named after the fairy tale, it's named after the 80s hairband. The compass expires at 11 p.m. tonight, and it has no power unless you tell another player that you have it. It can only be played tonight. Since you have this compass, and you might not be going to Crossroads, you also have the opportunity, if you join the team that doesn't go to Crossroads, you can gift it to somebody on the other party, but you have to do it in front of everybody else before they go back to camp. So we're going to call you in, you're going to join the challenge room after the challenge is over, and we're going to reveal that you're back into the game. If you're going to Crossroads, we're going to send you back to camp. If you're not going to Crossroads, you have the opportunity, but you have to speak up and you have to say, Docs, before everybody goes, I want to gift the compass too. So we're going to give you guys the opportunity to talk and strategize, and Will, you can help influence the game by helping Gabe with the strategy here.
If you want my input of it, I would probably just go back to Ethan's, because they've had, the other time is more time to bond strongly in this, and you can go in with like saying people like the other white guys, or like they are the ones trying to run the show there, and just trying to power lines and get them out as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so honestly, which one do you think would just cause the most chaos?
Wow.
I mean, if Ethan does get it, because I mean, you'd be the obvious choice to be re-voted out.
Gabe trying to
either way
back in and just recap.
But if you go with Ethan's, you can say that's just and y'all miraculously don't lose today. You can say that, oh, I did just get either a compass for the first time I go to tribal, or if you want to try to keep it which would be easier thing to do because it's like, as far as like people to grasp. So you could then survive at least one more vote. Or to say they did give you a compass, just a full compass in itself. If it's not the first one where you can't play it, you may be able to save it and get some of the people who are on the bottom to rally together to get the.
Gabe,
So in
really?
case that I do go
lending a
back
lot
to
of
Team
education
Ethan,
here.
do you think it would just be better to hide the fact that I do have the compass?
No. Because if it is a majority 6 now, when people know you have it and like, oh, it can only be played here. Or if like, so I'm going to vote for one of you. If you don't want it to be you, vote for someone else.
So, if you guys can make a decision on which team you're going to join.
I'd say you have a better chance integrating going back to Ethan, but that's also me wanting Ethan's side to have numbers, because it's if you go
That's a good point, too. Having
to
numbers
Janet,
is a big
you're
thing here.
going to be the 9th man. That will be the easy target until a swap.
It does potentially give
I feel like you have
Team
more
Janet,
play
if you
in
vote, if
Ethan
not this time, then next
to
time.
get people on your side.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Team Ethan again.
Okay, is that your decision?
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
Let's keep
Congratulations,
the action.
you're back in the game. You'll join
Why
Team
not?
Ethan after the challenge.
Oh,
the
man.
players don't know you're coming back in, so we will reveal it at that time. The Trail of the Deserted is now over. Will, thank you so much for playing. We really got to enjoy getting to meet you.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
Gabe, we'll see you after
I
the
think Will will
challenge.
definitely be joining our
See you
side soon enough.
Absolutely, yeah. I can't wait to talk to Will. He gave great effort, but unfortunately, it didn't work out for him this game. Okay, so with that, we have Gabe returning, and
Nice
Sam,
work,
what do you
Gabe.
think? He picks Team Ethan.
Yeah, I think, he has those roots kind of planted there. Will was a fantastic teacher for him. I think, for seeing one day of Will playing, he is a great educator of this. I have a feeling we'll see him back at some point in some version of this.
Yeah, and Gabe, Gabe was open to it. He took the advice. He was really kind of hearing Will out, and yeah, got some great advice there. So with the Cinderella Compass, it expires tonight at 11 p.m. So, but the one stipulation with it is, in order for it to be used, he does need to inform another player that he has it. That makes the compass active. It's live, so then he's able to use it. Or if his party isn't the one to go to Crossroads, he has the ability to pass that baby over and maybe make an ally over on Team Janet. We haven't seen something like that yet, Sam. What do you think of that?
And I'm way more curious if that's the route that it goes, because the key is he has to say it during or after, rather, the challenge.
Right.
So once the winning team is picked and say Ethan wins, he has to then say it in front of every single player in the game that he's giving it to one certain person on Team Janet, which would be, that would be bananas. I think that would totally blow up tonight, and Team Janet would be kind of scrambling, and they're already going to be scrambling. It would be their first Crossroads. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers for a Team Ethan win tonight.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I'm definitely pulling for Team Ethan to get one on the board. Now, Kyle is in possession of the compass on that side. And just to remind, on Team Ethan, Gideon's holding on to a compass. Could be a double compass night. It's a lot to look forward to as we go into this exemption challenge. All right, let's kick it back over to Doc.
Let's hop in.
All right, awesome.
Today's challenge is called the Spin and Shoot Relay. Before the challenge starts, every explorer needs to set up 3 solo cups on the edge of a table or a countertop. When it's your turn, you're going to spin around 10 times. Make sure you're behind that 8-foot mark, and then shoot your ping pong balls towards your cup and try and knock as many off the table as you can. Every cup that you knock off the table equals a point for your party.
All right, welcome in, explorers, to our third challenge. This is called the Spin and Shoot Relay. The team with the most points after 6 rounds will win exemption for their party. And the losing team will see me at Crossroads tonight, where you will vote somebody out of the game. All right, if we can get our One's up, and everybody else with your cameras off.
Here we go, Sam.
And this is
A lot more.
This is
important
not
on
a
Team
speed
Ethan
relay,
here.
so
They've
we're
really
gonna just
gotta
take
get
a
win.
break
And this could
before
come
we
down
reset.
to,
So
a point or two.
the
This could be
twos
very, very
just wait until
interesting.
you
I was
get
watching
called
the
in.
teams practice, and both of them were looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna count you down in
Absolutely. It's
3,
gonna come down to a few points
2,
for sure. So
1, go.
Every battle is going to be important here.
Very
They are
crucial.
off. Looks like we've got Garrett versus Daniel here.
And Daniel's spinning a little slower than Garrett.
Yeah, taking a little bit more time.
Oh, we already got a point, though.
Oh, Garrett only gets 1. Daniel now throwing.
Garrett, 1 point.
Daniel hit
Now
that
that's
one.
Dan's on the board with
Knock
1
off.
point. So after 1 round, it's 1-1.
2 for Daniel.
It's got to be off the table. They asked, and we said it has to fall off the table.
That's a crucial rule. This comes back to knowing the rules.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the 2s up.
That was crucial. I think he's saying it bounced off the back wall, but ends up on the table, unfortunately. So.
It's all about your setup. I mean, half your thought has to go into the setup. I know that from experience.
It is 1-1 after 1 round.
All right. Strict ruling on that one, but like
All right.
like I was just saying, I mean, you have to set up your
We're
own
going to
table,
start the
set up your
second
own
round in
rules.
3,
We're
2,
clear
1,
about
go.
What gets points and what doesn't. So, unfortunate break for Daniel, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So, back at it.
That's just how the cookie
Got
crumbles at
Jared
this point.
for
And
Team
luckily it was the
Janet
first person,
and
and it
Gideon
wasn't
for
the
Team
sixth
Ethan.
final round.
Absolutely, yeah. So, lots of time to make up for that point. Gideon is a sniper with those. Oh,
Wow.
Still ends
All right,
up
I
2-2.
see 2 for Jared.
Also
Still tied.
And how many did we get for Gideon?
2 for Gideon as
2.
well.
All right, so we got a tie score after 2 rounds. It's 3-3.
All right.
I mean, it
Let's get the
couldn't be
3s up
going
here.
down any better than this, right, Jonathan?
Yeah, this is gonna be a tight one. I'm nervous for Team Ethan here. Although with getting Gabe back on their party, they're only.
All right,
down
going
one
for
at this
Team
point,
Ethan,
so-
we have Ryan.
But still,
Going
to go
for
down
Team
2 again,
Janet,
after
we have
getting
Jennifer.
that player again would be tough.
In 3,
They need
2,
momentum here.
1, go.
And it comes down to that, just the mental fortitude too. It just feels better to win. I mean, in my season, Team Rob lost many challenges in a row, and that just kind of gets into your head, and you don't think you're ever going to win a challenge.
Absolutely, for sure. Yeah, and it starts to affect you in the challenges as well. So.
It
You're
does.
good, Ryan.
There's so much added pressure.
Here we go. Jennifer, she gets 1 there. Oh, just the 1.
Ryan's-
Oh,
Wow.
Ryan with a
Let's
big
go,
point.
Ryan. Good job.
Wow.
One
Big
throw.
All
point.
right, so it looks like Ryan got all 3 on 1 shot,
Team
and
Ethan
Jennifer
gets
got
the
1
buff they
point.
need there. That's huge.
Well, this boy is always clutch.
That is huge for Team Ethan.
Massive. They needed
So
that.
with
Docs.
yes,
Go ahead. So I just wanted to clarify something about my table. I was told this was fine, but it's like 3 inches off another table.
Yeah.
Is that
If
fine
it's-
if it falls off to that?
If it falls off onto the other table, that's okay.
As long
Thank
as it
you.
bounces back, and I don't see how it would do that. So I think he'll be fine.
That would almost be impressive. In
All
its
right,
own
so
right.
after 3 rounds, we have a score of 6-3. Team Ethan is up 6-3.
All right.
And our for Team Janet, we have Kyle. And for Team Ethan, we have Jack.
With a special assistance from Kyle Rottweiler.
Yeah, Kyle's got quite a scene going on there. Hopefully he can.
Potentially have a dog that will disrupt this, so I'm getting excited.
Dogs love.
All right, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go.
You know what? This is chaos before Gabe's even reintroduced.
Yeah. There we go. I'll take more of an aggressive approach to his spins. Jack is more taking his time.
I think watching the concentration on the spins is the most interesting part.
Kyle's going for pure force. Gets 2. Jack also picks up 2.
And we have 2 points for both. And I was corrected on the score going into this. It was actually 6-4.
Okay.
So now the score is
It's like Jake.
is 8-6.
8-6. So 2-point advantage.
All right, if we can get our
with
fives
two
up.
throwers left.
Yeah, that can be made up very easily, 1 cup per. So still some pressure on Team Ethan here. Not only that, I mean, you throw up a 0 right now on Team Ethan, and it's gonna be hard not to vote you out today.
You're in trouble then.
Yeah. So
no pressure though, Chantel.
yeah, no. Luckily she can't hear.
Are the fives up? Oh yeah, the fives are up. All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Got the spins.
Yep, this is going to be a huge round.
We have
this
Maddie
could either
for
put
Team
it away
Janet
or
and Chantel
really
for
make
Team
these 6
Ethan.
throwers the real closers in this challenge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm curious how much thought was put into who your 6th thrower is. Was there some strategy? Are those the most confident people? We may find out.
Oh, Maddie, for the first one. Oh, she picks up 2 points.
Oh, she makes up for it though.
Chantel, that would tie it up. So let's see what Chantel. She's got to hit something to keep the lead.
And the power stance from her, and it works.
Yep, she gets 2.
So they both got 2.
Wow.
Out of way, Chantel.
There we go. So Team Ethan still with a nice lead. I mean,
way to go,
only
Chantel.
3
Way to
cups
go.
on the board. 2 points should be enough, but
Awesome job, Chantel.
we've seen
Ethan is
So going into the final
thrown
round,
over.
Team Ethan is up 10-8.
Hannah just needs to hit 1 cup.
And we're down to Rob for Team Janet
2 for the win.
and Hannah for Team
Yeah.
Ethan.
Go, Hannah.
Okay, I can see your
Rob
cups.
pretty much needs all three here.
They were not red, so
Yes.
I was confused.
Have a chance to
All right, in 3,
Two just got a
2,
chance to tie.
1, go.
The spins. He looks great spinning.
Hannah with the aggressive spins.
Yeah, Hannah just looks like she wants to get the spins over with, whereas Rob is a little bit more controlled.
He has the ballerina head tilt going. Hold that
Not
one
really
position.
taking time. Oh, she missed the first one. She got 1. 1 more and she wins.
One more and
That's
she's
it.
good.
Team Ethan
There
has
we
won
go.
the challenge.
Let's go, Team Ethan.
They both got
Congratulations.
2, which means
We are gonna get some drama
Team Ethan
tonight.
has 1 exemption with a score of
Fireworks
12
are
to
coming
10.
down.
Team Jen,
If everybody
some new drama, I
can
should say.
turn your
Plenty of drama. I don't want
cameras
to downplay
back
the drama
on.
that they're providing us with. But it's gonna
And
be
you know
nice
what?
to. You go ahead.
I was going to say Gabe is now safe for a night. He gets to come back and have a relatively calm return to the game. That's huge for his mentality.
Right, and
If
big
we can
decision
just get
for
everybody's
Gabe.
cameras back on,
He could do
even
nothing.
the players
He could
that sat
just
out.
eat the compass, not give up play, show his cards in any way,
Mhm.
or he could potentially find an ally in Team Janet here. So
He did
All right,
ask
tonight,
Will how to cause chaos.
I'm going to
so
see
I wonder
Team
if
Janet
he's
and
gonna go for it.
Crossroads
Giving
for the
the
first
compass
time.
up
I'm not going to see
causes
Team
chaos, so
Ethan.
let's see what he
You
decides.
all are exempt, but before you all go back, I would like to let Team Janet know something that Team Ethan already knows, and that is that our first 2 explorers were not voted out of the game. They went to the Trail of the Deserted, where they had their competition tonight, and our first player is coming back into the game. And so if we can bring that person back into the game so everybody can see who's coming back.
Wow, look at all of these excited faces from both parties.
Excited, shocked.
He's not going to join us right now, but he will join the party later. He is going to Team Ethan, and Gabe will be rejoining the team.
Wow.
So,
That must
Team
mean that he's
Ethan,
not
you guys can
giving
head
the
back to
compass away.
camp.
Yeah.
Team Janet, you have 1 hour, so I will see you at Crossroads.
That snake was not poisonous that I bit Gabe with, and we'll have to try another time. The man has more than one life, and honestly, it's kind of good that he came back because I did him dirty. And so now he gets to play the game for real, and we'll see how this goes.
This game is so much better when we don't lose. It was really fun to hang out with the group, and we got Gabe back. Thank goodness. That was huge.
Well, today didn't go nearly as bad as it could have gone. I have an ally back in the game with Gabe, and we won immunity, so I didn't have to play my compass.
Damn, that sucks.
Everyone back now?
Did anyone notice how they were all like crossing their fingers, and then when it was Gabe announced to come back, they all like celebrated?
Yeah, they kind of like to embarrass
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird. Like, it was just weird that they vote someone out, and it's like, like obviously you kind of want someone, like you want the person you like more to come back, but at the same time, it's like
you're not like.
I know it was really weird to me that they really wanted him back.
It's so disingenuous.
Yeah.
It's like we really like you, but not enough to keep you in the game.
Yeah. We like you just more than the first person we voted out.
Yeah.
I guess we finally have to use some of these side rooms.
Probably.
No more just coasting.
All right. No awkwardness. Let's do this.
Dude.
It's all gonna be okay.
All right. Make it
ready.
Yeah. All right. Hey.
Hello.
What's up, Jennifer? You seem really startled.
No.
I know. All right. So, okay. All right. Oh my god. So I've been off all day. You guys know what's going on. Jennifer, I have to tell you because there's something that happened, and I hate that I have to do this, but I feel like I gotta throw her under the bus. No, not you. Dakota private messaged me last night. So the last 24 hours have been interesting. Last night I received a DM from Dakota just saying hi, but since it was against the rules, I ended up reporting it. And it was a little awkward coming into today, and actually when we first got on, I ended up telling most of the group minus Jennifer just about it, just to give them a heads up.
It was like kind of like a sketchy incident where she messaged Jared on the side, and that's like against game rules. I don't believe she had like malintention. I don't believe it was an accident. I just think that she, didn't really understand that you couldn't do that, which is, interesting.
I ended up in a chat room with Justin and Dakota explained the situation to me about how it was an accident. She did not intend to send a DM, and that she had talked about it with the mods, and it sounded like they agreed with her, which is, great. I don't want anyone to be cheating, and I'm glad that she owned up to her part in this mistake.
I was just checking in with her about what Jared had told us earlier, and I was just making sure that she wasn't getting penalty votes.
Yeah.
Is anyone feeling strongly about anything right now?
No.
Yeah, I don't.
I wish I had an agenda to go off, but
the only thing that and it's not where I want to go. The only thing I've noticed that was different about anyone, and I don't know if it even means anything, was the first day we were all together. Daniel left the group to go to another room with a mod, and I don't know if that's just to go check it. So I don't know basically if.
Yeah. So what I remember the first night there was like the other room. There was like a room that was just that night only. That was like a clue room.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
so I saw like everyone in that room, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
What?
when somebody leaves one of these rooms. I don't want to just like cut you guys off. I'm gonna go in the field and explain myself because I didn't know Jared had said anything.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna explain myself.
Well, Dakota, you feel like it's you. What are you feeling? Like, come on. What do you want to do? What do you want to do?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's me because it's super hard to believe. And like, if I was like Daniel, or if I was Justin, or if I were you, Jennifer, like, and somebody told me like they didn't mean to message somebody, but they did anyways, I would be like, okay, you're just kind of throwing me some bullshit here. So that's the only reason I feel like my name's out there and like I'm going home. And I mean, if it is me, like, so be it. There's really no hard feelings. I'm not going to be like, man, fuck all of you. I hate you. Like, it's really going to be okay. Granted, I really don't want it to be me because what I did was a genuine mistake. I really didn't mean to. I wouldn't even call it a mistake. I didn't know I did. And I explained myself. I just haven't explained myself to Jared, and he's probably listening to the stories that I told other people, and I feel horrible because he hasn't heard it from my mouth, but I just haven't been able to get in a room with him to fully explain myself.
Oh yeah, it might be helpful to be able to chat with him.
I just want to like I was in a room the first thing when we all split with Dakota, and I told her that Jared let us know this, and it wasn't no intention to try and like pit them against each other. I just wanted to make sure, like,
well, no,
again,
honest group. That's what keeps.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to like be upfront with Dakota, and I also told Jared, like, I was like, look, I did tell her that you told us this because I don't think either of them told. I don't think Dakota did it with malicious intent, and I don't think Jared told us with any like, oh, we got like, I don't think either of them did what happened trying to make something out of it.
Agreed.
So I just wanted to make sure both of them knew that that's why I told Jared. I was like, look, I did confront Dakota, but it wasn't to get her against Jared in any way.
What are you thinking, Kyle?
Just because we don't have anything else to go on, I'm going off of just that scenario that even though she didn't get penalty votes.
I feel like you can't accidentally do that. I don't know. I think we should take into account that we're going to have to go against each other. What do you think?
Yeah, there's not really much to go off of. So that's what I mean. Like it's awkward. Like everyone that I talk to, there's like, yeah, everything seems okay. Like no one's really said who they're voting for yet. And I'm like, all right. And I was stuck by the fire for like the longest time. So I'm like,
I feel like you guys already decided day one on me. So I'm just like, I'm afraid I'm going to go into this and look silly. Like, oh, they played me. So I don't know.
I don't know.
Voting for her.
Part of me is wondering if the damage is already done. It sounds like it was completely innocent and innocuous.
Yeah, the way she made it out to me, like it wasn't a thing. Like it was, and I believe her. I don't think she was trying to do anything.
I don't think there's especially like since we've all heard it. I don't think there's any reason for her to lie.
Yeah. As far as I've said in my confessionals, you and Maddie are the people I've been wanting to try and work with, just because when you said that your thing is loyalty, I that's one, like, some people I thought were like bullshitting, but when you said it, I actually was like, okay, you seem very genuine. So I was hoping to be able to like talk to you. I don't know how you feel. I don't know who you feel close with.
I've gotten like a really good vibe from you, also from Maddie. I've had a good vibe from Daniel as well, just to be completely honest. Everyone else, I don't feel negative about anyone.
I wasn't bringing that up as in like I want to target Daniel. That's just one thing that I just wanted to like bring up to someone just to spitball off of what was happening. Like for all, like I don't really know what that room meant. I thought it meant he may have. What?
I could tell you, I went into that room for a little bit. It was like a little clue that they had to start you off like, on a scavenger hunt for a compass.
At one point, the six of us, after Dakota left, the six of us said, like, oh, so if Jen doesn't show up again and we lose, easy vote, right? And everyone's like, yeah, that's the tip. I don't want that. I don't want her to be the first voted out. I don't know her at all, but I think the easy vote right now is the best opportunity to take out someone else who I'm more worried about. Right now, I think she's going to be a very good screen to make a bigger move, and that brings me to Daniel.
Jennifer, I think, is locked into Dakota. I mean, Jennifer, so she seemed to just like be terrified it was going to be her because she didn't show up here day one.
Because of my internet problems, maybe there is a target on my back. Maybe they will want to vote me out since I was not here and they all got to hang out that first night together without me.
So I think she was going to latch on to whoever the first name was thrown out that wasn't her.
I guess that makes sense. I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Hi. I've been trying to talk to you all night, and every room that you're in, it's so jam-packed. And I was genuine. Like, I wasn't being conniving. I wasn't trying to be sneaky. Like, it was genuine. I had no idea I even messaged you until Docs and I got on, like, a video like this. And he was like telling me step by step where to go. And he's like, okay, this is where you go. Can you read off your messages? I was genuinely apologetic because, for one, it's against the rules and I'm not trying to get kicked out for breaking a rule. So then Justin had told me that you had told them that I had messaged you. So then when he told me that, I wanted to like clear the air with everybody and explain like what had happened. And so then I was like, I told everybody that I wanted to talk to you first and that I didn't want it to come from them. But I guess everybody had already told you.
Well, I totally accept and believe you, because literally the way you just said that is the way you say everything. I know it's only been a couple days, but we've been spending hours together. Like, I felt like I was getting, and that was why I was also really confused, because I was like, no, like Dakota of all people, like I like her. I don't want to, like, you know, I don't know. So I'm really glad we got that out. So I would prefer not to vote for you. So if you who would you want to target instead?
I just genuinely wanted to talk to you. Nobody's really saying a name, which makes me really nervous. Just because I know like how it must look in their eyes. So I hope it's not. Well, I don't know. My biggest thing is loyalty. Genuinely like showing that you're loyal to who you're working with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you were to tell me a name, I wouldn't go to the Outpass post or by the river, by the fire and be like, Jared said.
All right, so can I run something by you and you promise you won't say anything? So like, this is what I mean. Like, I don't want to be the one that like makes the decision, but now I'm a little nervous about Justin, just because, like, no offense, the original plan was going to be you, and then he like spilled the beans immediately and then was trying to defend it to me, but I was kind of just sitting there like, I told you that, because like right when we came on, I like did tell everybody because I just wasn't sure what was going to happen. And again, I didn't want to be like holding a secret. And like, I don't know.
No,
but I also
can
think he'd be good in challenges.
definitely
So like, and I do like him. So I don't know.
If I were to say a name for like challenge wise, mine would have to be maybe Rob.
I promise I won't tell him if you don't tell Justin. Then
I won't.
Put that pinky up.
Yes.
You're
I will stick with you to the end of this game.
Big brother, little brother.
Done.
Sister.
Do me a favor. Talk to other people. Not Jared. Not as far as like throwing out. Just don't say the name.
No.
Daniel. But the idea of Daniel with the information that he left the group to go for an individual idol, right? A clue.
Yep. Okay.
Just pitch that idea around. I want to see if we could get any traction on it with me, you, Maddie, and Dakota, and maybe Kyle will jump on board.
Okay, be super light about it.
Yeah, to me, that's the name that's happening. I don't want you to go home at all. So that's why I really think that they are also. Part of me thinks it might be you that they're saying is true. Part of me thinks that it's a screen and they're actually going for me. Either way, I don't want you to go. I'm not voting for you tonight. If I throw a name out to you, I don't think throwing a name out to you is going to hurt anything, because if it's going to be me, you're like, I just don't think me throwing a name to you, since you're the decoy vote that they're telling me. So to me, and I talked to Jennifer about this a little bit. I don't know how on board she is, but I want Daniel out. I think he is the most likely person. I think he is the most likely person to jump onto the Ethan tribe, because the first night he went to a room that said, I think like clue room or clue box or something. And to me, if someone's playing, when we won the first challenge and the first thing they do is try and do something for themselves and never bring it up to any of us, that to me makes it sound like he is going to play this whole game for himself.
Yeah, I would be down to do Daniel, because I've talked to Jared, and Jared said that nobody really believes that what I did was an accident, and that they just think I'm kind of covering myself, which scares them. And I totally get it, because if I was on the other shoe, I would be like, it's just bullshitting me. So I would be down to do Daniel. I know Jared said that he doesn't want me gone. I don't know if it was genuine.
Who did he say?
He actually had said Daniel's name as well. So.
Oh, see, that's weird because he said to me the only person he trusted was Daniel.
Really?
That's what he said to me. And I was like, shit, now I can't pitch to him, Daniel, because if that's the only person he trusts, there's no way he's going to do this. All right. What name are you guys hearing? Because no one's giving me names.
Dakota.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dakota and I smoothed it out, and well, Dakota, I mean,
what happened?
I don't want to speak for her, but yeah, we're having trouble because like now people are being cagier. I mean, some people still want Dakota, but like I would prefer not. But
did you hear mine? Because I feel like it's me.
Hey, I was wanting to talk to you, so I was like, okay.
Oh, thank God! Like this whole time, I'm like, how the fuck do I get in a room with Maddie and Jared? Like,
okay.
I'm like, I was even like talking about it in my confessional. I'm like, these are the two that I want to work with. Like, I feel like
Oh my God, hell yeah.
Like the most well
That's why I just
balanced.
saw you, so I was like, I have to. Yeah, okay. I want to check in with you. Here's what's going on. So you know about like I told everybody about the Dakota situation. So like I felt like that could have been an easy vote. But here's what's kind of like bothering me now is Justin went and told Dakota all about this situation, and like she was aware and it's fine, but I just like now that makes me nervous because I felt like we could have had an easy unanimous vote, and like he's telling her that and it's just like making it awkward. So I don't know. I'm like a little frustrated by that because like if we're supposed to be a tight group, like I feel like we could have done that. And I know like, I don't know. I know I'm rambling. I don't know. Am I being too much about that? You guys can be honest with me.
No.
I'm just like, I was baffled.
You came to the group in confidence. Yeah. And you told us and you were upfront about it and honest. And like she said she didn't know that she sent something. I don't know if she knew that she sent something. She came and like tried to defend herself to us. But like, we don't know. She could have been trying something.
And I get what you're saying with Justin. My only thing is I think he's going to be better at challenges. So I say keep him over her, and then he's just our next target. That would be my suggestion. But it's totally like if you guys think something's crazy and something's up, like I'm cool with voting on Justin too.
Yeah, I'm a little like I don't know if I could trust him. And like he says he doesn't want to go to the other side, but like are you going to tell people if we're on a tribe with someone else? Are you going to spill the beans? Like I don't know.
Before you jump though, like I'm definitely down. Like I said, like I already said it in like my confessional. Like I'm definitely down to do like a final 3 with you too. Like just from what I've seen in challenges and the conversations we've had, I feel like you two are like both smarter than me and like level headed. So you guys make good decisions, and I'm good at like some of these other comps. So I feel like we'll mesh well, and like as a unit, we'll be strong all the way through.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
So yeah, we'll definitely touch base more. But like I said, if you guys are in, I'm definitely like I want to play a very loyal game. So like I'm down to like lock this in right now and just run final 3, and I'll say that I will not write down either one of your names throughout the game, regardless of what happens.
Al, that's literally why we jumped, because we saw that you were available by yourself. So we
all wanted. He was like, if me, you, and Maddie end up on a tribe together, we could get like a DC thing going. And then we're talking more about like who we generally feel comfortable with, and we were thinking like a 5 of me, you, Rob, Justin, and Jennifer.
Okay.
And then like with Kyle and Jared for sure too, if we vote out Dakota, but like obviously if we go back to Crossroads, it's like nice to have a bit of a 5. But I'm curious what you think.
So I'm feeling more towards Jared than Justin, and let me tell you why. I think, well, Jared, I trust Jared, and like we had a good conversation just now, but he was kind of like pissed that Justin threw him under the bus to Dakota.
Well, no, I just got freaked because you told her.
I said to her as soon as I told her, I was like, I'm not trying to pit you against Jared at all. Like, it wasn't meant to be anything more than just like, I think as a tribe we need the information so that we can vote out a person that is untrustworthy to the whole group. Does that make sense?
He was the one that like released the information to Dakota about the whole messaging scandal, whatever. So I don't know. It honestly just, it's not that like I think Justin's being shady. I just think that's like a really dumb game move. Like if you're sitting in a room with Dakota and she's like, who are you thinking? And he's like, oh, actually like we were thinking you, it just kind of is like, okay, like that's kind of dumb. Yeah. So I feel like more confident in like a Jared than Justin, but I like everybody else a lot that you named. So
I'm good with that. The reason I put Justin in there was Rob felt like super, super tight with him. So the Justin thing's not really coming from me. So I'm cool with having Jared as kind of like our number 4, number 5, whatever we want to call it. But I might kind of have like Mumby the word around Rob.
But all that to say, I feel really good. If you're solid with me,
okay,
let's run this shit.
Gucci.
So, that was right. I had my numbers wrong. So it actually was 18. So I have the hint. So we just got to figure this out now.
Oh, shit.
So
okay.
Let me go to the message and I'll relay it to Jared afterwards. But maybe you can start thinking about it.
Okay, what does it say?
So, where's the message? So the clue that he gave me is old school, new school. His shirt advertises the eras. This all-star and team captain of ours has played in both. Find him caught in a balancing act with a former all-star ally.
Sounds like Kyle and Maddie. Kyle said to Maddie that he wants an alliance with her.
Kyle said to Maddie that he wants to align with her. And then what Maddie was saying was she said to him, like, yeah, sure. Because, like, what else are you going to say to that? But, like, but that she was, like, kind of not feeling sure. So, I mean, again, I don't know if she's lying to him or if she's lying to me.
Oh, my God. I'm so nervous.
Me too.
We're all good. We're all good.
We're all good.
So, honestly, I'm really glad that we talked. Like, I'm good with it.
All right, Team Janet, welcome to Crossroads. This is your first time, and as Trail of the Deserted has ended, the person who's voted out tonight will be leaving the game. All right, so let's just start this off, and I'll go to Kyle. Kyle, you guys won the first 2 challenges. What has camp life been like those first 2 days?
It was actually super relaxing because it was like we didn't even use any of the extra rooms because it's like we won, so there's no point to like go in a different room and possibly put doubt or like worry in anyone's mind. So it was just we were all just hanging out and just talking about life in general. It was relaxing. Had a few drinks.
So everybody just stayed in the shelter for 2 straight nights?
Yep. Not one person used the room at all.
Justin, was it the same way tonight? Everybody in the shelter after the challenge?
No, we all talked and we're like, all right, so I guess this is the part where we all scatter. So everyone went to different rooms, everyone talked to each other. Yeah.
Jennifer, did you feel like everybody was jumping around to different rooms, or did you notice like the same groups of people staying together?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were jumping around for a little bit, and then for about 15 minutes, I felt a little nervous. I was all alone. Everyone kind of seemed stuck where they were, and I was by myself. So that made me a little worried.
You were stuck outside of a conversation for 15 minutes of the hour?
Yeah, I was by myself, so it was a little worrisome.
Sure.
Couldn't get in to talk to anyone, so.
Was Jennifer the only person who was left on her own at some point, or was anybody else on their own?
I was on my own for a little bit.
Yeah, I was for a bit.
Okay, a lot of people. Rob, you spoke up first, but how was that? How did that feel when you got stuck on your own?
I didn't think it was anything malicious, just because it was. It seemed more a function of these are Discord channels or rooms where there is a cap, and unfortunately that cap is already met, and so I was just kind of left out after having what I thought was a good conversation. At that point, I did feel a little bit of paranoia sneak in of, is everyone talking about me when I am isolated from these conversations? But I kind of had to keep my wits about me and realize you're being paranoid. You need to calm down, take a deep breath, and wait for someone to either join you or try and hang out in the shelter and just enjoy your time alone for once.
Daniel, you also said you had some alone time. Would you agree with Rob there?
I mean, it kind of sucks to be alone generally. Like, you can be so positive that you're going to be on the right side of the vote, that you're going to be safe, but like there's always that little bit of doubt. I mean, even when you're in rooms with people, there are people that you're not in rooms with, you know, unless it's like the last couple of nights when we were all in the shelters. So whenever there are conversations going on that you're not in, it's just a complete uncertain, and it's tough to deal with uncertainty.
Is just a show of hands. Is anybody excited to get to the vote tonight? No, nobody will admit it. Also, show of hands. Is anybody feeling confident tonight? All right, one more show of hands, and then we'll go back to the question. Show of hands. Who's nervous tonight? Okay, everybody's nervous.
I mean, I'm nervous when I'm making my breakfast, so I think I'm always going to answer yes to that question.
That's fair enough. Maddie, how many names have you heard thrown around tonight? Do you think this is going to be a straightforward vote, or have you heard a lot of names?
You know, I was in a lot of random channels here and there throughout the whole night, and I think I heard a handful of names. So I have an idea in my mind of where things are going to go, but I could be completely wrong, so.
You feel the same way, Jared? Have you heard a lot of names?
There are 2 names that I heard tonight. So
2 names.
Kind of marinating on both options, yeah.
Dakota, do you think tonight is going to be a straightforward vote, or do you think that somebody's going to be surprised?
I think it's going to be a straightforward vote.
Really? Okay. Why do you think that?
Because there was a situation between Jared and I. So then when I found out that there was a conversation, I finally was able to advocate for myself, and I felt like I was running around with my head cut off, trying to explain my side of the story, and explain what had happened. And I think at that moment, everybody kind of just had their minds made up.
It was a complete accident, and she had talked with the members of the moderation team in order to address it, advocate her side of the story, and it seems like it was fully resolved.
Jennifer, do you think that this incident is going to influence the vote tonight?
I think it did weigh on it a lot, because a couple of us were talking about, we weren't so sure if you could accidentally send a message, hit enter, and then not know they did it. So the question was, when she owned it, did she really own it? Did she really send it on purpose? And she got caught, so now she had to say it was an accident, or everyone was questioning the authenticity.
My thing is I'm a very straight up person. If I have an issue with you, I will come to your face and I'll be like, hey, this is what I have an issue about. If I went behind Team Janet's back and I went out of my way and messaged Jared and went to go do it on purpose, I would own up to the whole story.
It docs, for what it's worth, when I did have a conversation with Dakota and she did have the opportunity to share her side of the story, I did believe her, and I still do.
Well, I appreciate you saving me a question. I was going to ask you that to weigh in.
Well, I just wanted that to be said.
No.
I think what Jennifer said is fair. But that's also why, like, what was really awkward about the situation was we had not had the opportunity to talk. And so word got back to her that I was feeling this way, and I explained to our party that when I figured this out last night, it was a real struggle because I was like, oh my God, I know we're not supposed to do this, but I get really good vibes from Dakota and I really like her. And I ultimately made the decision to share it because I didn't want to impact my game. But once we had the opportunity to connect and just hear her out, it was affirming what I had my initial perception of her, which is exactly what she just said, that she is an open and honest person. So I think that conversation kind of confirmed that for me, that she was telling the truth. So that's how I feel about it.
All right, Maddie, trust in this game is really important. How do you know at this point in the game who you can trust and who you can't trust?
You don't really know, especially because in the previous 2 nights, we haven't really had many or any one-on-one conversations with anybody because we were all just like in our shelter talking to each other and not able to make these connections on the side. I mean, we were able to. Everyone just like didn't want to put a target on their back by going to another room. So it is tough. I think this first vote, it's like you don't know who you can trust yet, and you just kind of have to go with your gut and who you get good vibes from. So.
Kyle, was there any talk at camp tonight after the challenge about Gabe returning?
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit because it was kind of weird after the challenge that they were all so excited that someone they just voted out was coming back. So I don't know if that was they didn't have a choice really, or if it was they really hate Will and they prefer Gabe over him. I don't really know where they sit. Obviously, we have no info on them, but I would not be clapping if I voted somebody out and they won their way back in. Like, yeah, good for them, but no, I voted you out. I don't want to see you again. Not in the game, at least.
Jared, do you feel like your relationships in the game's gotten stronger tonight, or do you feel like you've had the ability to make strong relationships with people in the bigger groups the last 2 nights?
I think tonight definitely helped because we've all gotten along really well. I think, we've been a very open group. We're the group that comes each day and says, hey, this is what we said in my confessional last night. It's been a very open forum style, which is, I think, not usual for a game like this, but that's how much we genuinely vibe. I really appreciated today just being able to have some separate conversations because as great as it is to be so open, strategy is part of this game, and it's hard to really know where you're at when you don't have the opportunity to have a private conversation with someone. So I think for me tonight affirmed a lot of things that I have been feeling. So I feel a little more affirmed.
Dakota, has there been any talk at camp about advantages?
With me personally, no, but that doesn't mean there has been somebody trust somebody else and they have shared that they have an advantage.
Daniel, do you think that advantages are going to play into the vote tonight?
I don't know if they're going to play into the vote tonight. I mean, it's day 3 now, so I would imagine that there are some advantages that have been floated out there. Whether or not they've been found or anything, is a separate story. But again, I think I have an idea of which way the vote's going to go, and that doesn't include advantages. But you always have to take that with a mountain of salt.
Justin, what are you basing your vote on tonight?
I think tonight the most important thing, after tonight, Team Janet has a 1-person lead. So I think the most important thing is we go into the group of 7 with the group that will stay tightest together. Because if we merge or swap anytime soon, and someone's going to jump to the other side, then our numbers are gone. Like, we did so great the first 2 challenges that the most important thing right now is to keep that numbers advantage. And if it's someone disloyal, then that advantage is gone.
So, Rob, based on the look on your face, I feel like you might want to correct Justin's math on that.
Yeah, so just as we all learned tonight, they've got 1 person rejoining them from the Trail of the Deserted. So we are actually going to be going in after tonight's vote, equal numbers.
Yep. My bad, I can't.
Sorry, I can't hide my facial reactions.
Yep.
You can tell if I'm lying to your face or not.
Yeah, I can't.
Justin, would you like another hour to go back to camp and reassess your strategy based on this new information?
I mean, with the math I just did, I don't think an hour would help because I don't think I can tell time.
Okay, well, we weren't going to give it to you anyway. Okay, does anybody have anything else they'd like to add before we go to the vote? Okay, we're going to start the voting. I have the votes. If anybody has the hidden advantage and you'd like to play it, now's your last chance to play it. Okay, I'm gonna read the votes. Our first vote is for Dakota. That's 1 vote for Dakota. Our second vote is for Daniel. It's 1 vote Dakota, 1 vote Daniel. Our third vote is for Dakota. That's 2 for Dakota, 1 for Daniel. Our fourth vote is for Dakota. That's 3 for Dakota, 1 for Daniel. Our next vote is for Dakota. That's 4 for Dakota, 1 for Daniel. 3 votes left. Our sixth vote is for Dakota. That's 5 votes for Dakota. That's enough. Do you have any final words that you'd like to say to your party?
Good luck, guys.
With that, as we expected there, Sam, Dakota will be deserted at the crossroads. Ends up being a cohesive vote, so a plus there for Team Janet.
Yeah, it's, good for them to have that cohesive unit. They still seem like they're, one team, one dream moving forward, but as we've kind of hinted at all night, that's not going to be the case forever. Eventually, there's going to be fissures, and they're going to have to see where those cracks lie. So tonight was easy. They can kind of rest easy tonight, but more to come in the future for Team Janet.
Yeah, and 3 days in, we're right back to even. Looked like Team Janet was going to run away with it, and all it took was 1 loss at the wrong time. Gabe decides to go back to Team Ethan, giving them a solid number there. 7-7, brand new game.
It's amazing to see. It did look kind of down and outs for Team Ethan for a while there, but it just goes to show momentum can swing big with, like you said, a couple ping pong balls thrown at cups, and you're back in the game. So props to Team Ethan.
Absolutely, and we have a massive day planned tomorrow with a couple twists in stores, so do make sure you guys check that out. This was Expedition Online Day 3. We'll see you all next time. Peace.
Peace.
Or Daniel.
Thinking about whether I want to try to make some flashy move, but it's just too early for that.
Hey girl, really sorry I have to do this. It's the majority, and I really wanted to keep you, but this whole situation is just too much. I'm sorry. Hope we can be friends after this.
It seemed like Dakota was going to be the vote that we all agreed on, and I think if we all vote the same person out, we'll come back stronger.
Dakota, I'm sorry. I'm very worried it's me tonight. I didn't want you to go. I wasn't able to get in rooms with the people I needed to switch this vote like I wanted to onto Daniel. But I think I'm in danger, so I have to vote with where I think the most votes are going.
Sorry, Dakota. Unfortunately, at this point in the game, any minor little thing can get you voted out. It's nothing personal. It just unfortunately happens, so it has to be you. Take care.
Okay, my vote tonight is for Dakota. Unfortunately, I believe you, girl. It's just whoever was making the most noise on vote 1, that's who we went with, and I think we have unanimous consensus, so I'm really sorry.
I am so sorry, Dakota. I don't want to have to write you out. Unfortunately, you've got the only target in this game so far, and then I heard you were planning on writing my name down, so it was the only choice for my game.